All right, T Ryan, good to begin. I'll just speak a little bit before we begin. And then we shall go from there. Okay, so obviously, hi everyone. It's your boy, 2D. So obviously, before we address and start the AMA with the normal process of the announcements and updates, and then we go on from there. T, is Mars coming up today? No, right?
Unfortunately not.
Okay. So before we begin, I just wanted to address, some of the stuff that happened across the last, 48 hours, last two, maybe specifically the 24 hours specifically. A lot has happened today in the crypto market, especially with Luna and UST. I know we're an NFT project, and it's not something that we normally speak about. But I just thought that, it's something that we should cover. These coins are very popular tokens and investments, and a lot of people got hurt today along the way, right? So this is just kind of like a reminder to you guys that, at the end of the day, cliche as it may seem, money is money, and money can always be earned back. These investments, although you may lose on some of them, or get or suffer a hurt like today, it's not the end of the world, and it's definitely not something that you should put yourself in a precarious situation, or some people have taken their own lives today, and suffered some heavy losses. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you ever need anything, you can always DM me personally, and the lair is a very supportive place for all of you, support system for each other. And it's definitely not something that something that you guys should, hopefully nobody got hurt in SVS from this, but yeah, it's been a rough day. And if there's anything that you guys ever need, you can always reach out. But yeah, the mental health channel is good. A lot of the mods and the community managers are always able to help out, or have a lend a shoulder to you guys. So yeah, I haven't seen many people mention anything today, but yeah, I do hope nobody got caught in the crossfire. Um, so yeah. So I guess, T Ryan, that is it. That's all I wanted to say at the beginning, and then we'll just go on and begin from there. Okay. Yes, and maybe Mars will get over her stage fright and come up next week and give the introduction. Okay. Um, so first of all, first announcement that I want to make will be that of the upcoming real life events. Essentially, we are nearly completed with finalizing our NFT NYC and our London events. So these are obviously the events we're doing in June. One being in the States, and then the other one being in Europe. So New York and London, respectively. Um, both of which will be taking place towards the second half of June. Um, an interest check for both events has been posted in verified announcements, so be sure to fill that out as soon as possible if you are considering attending any of these events. Nice to see Freddie memeing in chat, but not memeing on voice. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're also happy to announce that our booth and food truck for NYC are both finalized. So this is super exciting. Um, this is super exciting, and something that we can't wait for you guys to come and have a see. So yes, we have secured a physical spot at the conference itself to have a bigger, uh, more visible presence besides other established projects. This is regards to the NFT NYC booth. And our food truck will be custom wrapped alongside a custom menu to make it pop and draw attention to the project. So this is going to be sick in NYC to draw as many people to their SVS brand as possible. We're particularly happy with the food truck, as it's a concept that came directly from our community and our DAO proposals. Before we go on to the next one, T, I think Thrall wanted to go first because his phone is dying, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, hi guys. You can finish the announcements. I have enough juice for that, and then I can just go after the announcements.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 18% can hang on for a bit.
Yeah, make sure you put it on low power mode and turn the brightness down low. You just got to listen to my voice. You don't have to see my face. It's okay.
We'll wait
I
until
always
one.
live on low power.
We'll wait until 1%.
Okay, cool. Living on the edge. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're
No
welcome.
problem. Okay, that's it for the announcements.
Are you serious?
No, I mean T's
Yeah,
next,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm next. So team updates. As you guys may have seen, we announced that Mars is going to be stepping up and taking a bigger role at SVS. So Mars's, I guess, emphasis is going to be on the collaborations, partnerships, um, you know, uh, outreach for new ones, and managing our current ones. This is a role that we found very fitting for her, and we're very excited to have her on the team for this and have someone solely dedicated to managing that, because sometimes with us doing all these other things, it can get in the way. So congratulations, Mars. Give her a little congrats train in the Lair chat real quick. But yeah, very excited to be working with her. And next up is Rion.
Yeah, so the next is just a small update on the Bloodshot prizes, because a few people have been asking since the Bloodshot went live that they've purchased items, when are they going to receive them? So we're still not quite happy with how manual the process is, so when people do purchase items at the beginning of a Bloodshot, you are just going to have to be patient, at least for the time being, in it perhaps taking 1 or 2 days for everyone to get their prizes. But as of today, everyone who's purchased something so far should have their items. I know the Vampires, Vampresses, and Bats, they were sent out today. The ETH for the ledgers was sent out yesterday, along with the purchasable gift cards as well. So if you did buy an NFT, ledger, or gift card, you should have it now. If you did buy the ledger, be sure to check the internal transactions of your wallet, as you'll see the funds coming in there. So everyone should have them by now. Again, on the gift cards, when you purchase it, you won't directly see any confirmation that you've purchased, and you won't get the gift card straight away. But if you visit the page again within 24 hours or so, you should see a redeem button, and that'll give you the code for the gift card. We are still in the process of contacting the last few people who won the raffles last week, so if you did win any of the larger gift card or physical prizes from last week, and you've not heard back from us yet, please be patient. You will be hearing from us as soon as possible. And then to reiterate our announcement from a few days ago, the Bloodshot has originally been a weekly thing, where every week or so, well, it's been slightly over a week just by the time it refreshes, that we're adding new prizes. But we did get a few comments and feedback saying that people would prefer it to be every 2 weeks, just because the blood bag is every 2 weeks. So people thought it would make more sense that the blood shop was updated more in line with the blood bags, not necessarily on the same day as the blood bags, but just for the fact that if people spend all of their blood, or have no blood, or are waiting for the blood bag to be able to increase the amount of entries they can have, if the blood shop was every week, there might be times where they're unable to enter for specific raffles just because they're waiting for the 2 weekly blood bag, which we kind of agree with as well. So from going forward, the blood bags are going to be every 2 weeks, obviously on the 1st and the 15th, and then the updates to the blood shop will be every 2 weeks in between those, so around the 7th or the 8th of the month, and then the 21st or the 22nd of the month. And this means that if you are waiting for your blood bag to get the blood, the raffles will still be live by the time you do so for you to enter them. This doesn't by any means mean there'll be less prizes available, or that there's going to be less opportunity for you to enter raffles or purchase. We're almost going to be attempting to double up, so there'll be more stock on the raffles, and there'll be more opportunity to enter the raffles with a wider variety of prizes. And also on the first come first serve gift cards, if we notice specific ones go too fast, I know that Amazon's always go fast, we're going to try and update those within the 2 week period as well, and add new stock where we can, so that people in different time zones and with different availability on their blood will be able to purchase as well. So we're going to be continually trying to improve the blood shop, add more items, a wider variety of items. As a lot of people seen, we added vampires, vampresses, and bats this week as our first NFT purchases, and we do want to be extending that to other collections as well. So as we've said in the past, if you do have recommendations of other collections we should be included in the blood shop, we'll be doing that going forward.
Okay, thank you, Rion. That's a very nice, cohesive update on the Bloodshot. Yap, yap, yap. Okay, so the next one is on the family creation. So for everyone, be ready to pick your favorite vampires, bats, and vampresses. You guys ready for this? How exciting, because so are we. The family creation tab is now live on the dash, and it's ready for you to configure your families to your heart's content. So, we are wondering, and let's see who can make the best looking family. What do you guys think? Maybe we should run a competition over the next few days, for the SVS family holders. Maybe a competition. Maybe a competition. Yes. So maybe a competition will be coming soon for this. Yes, eye emoji, fire emoji, sneaky emoji. Okay. Okay. So besides the point, if you're still experiencing any issues, please stay patient. Later tonight, there will be a new version pushed with the air quotes and putting my fingers in the air save buttons to ensure that saving works correctly every time. More on this, and we will be posting a team update later tonight. By we, I mean Freddie, and Freddie will be posting the team update later tonight. What'd you say? Freddie has something to say. You can say it out loud on the mic. I see it in
Oh.
Telegram.
Yeah, the save button is there now, so that part should work.
Okay. Fumbled for the mic there.
This is probably a good time to say as well, if you still can't create them, don't worry, as long as you do create them before the 14th. We posted a team update the other day because a few people were confused about how the blood generation and the blood yield actually works and when the snapshot's taken for the next blood bag. But for this first blood bag, because people have been unstaking and moving their assets around, it doesn't actually matter how long the assets have been in the wallet, you will be getting your full blood bag on the 14th. So don't worry if you haven't been able to create your families yet or anything like that, you're not going to be missing out on any blood. And just a reminder as well, if you haven't unstaked yet, there's no rush to unstake. You're still going to be earning your blood without unstaking. At this point, the unstaking is only to get the NFTs back in your wallet, but there is going to be a cut-off at some point. It's not like we're in any rush to stop refunding people. If you do unstake, we'll be refunding the gas, but there will be a point down the line where we're not going to be able to refund everybody. So be sure to unstake sooner rather than later. There is no rush to, and we'll give plenty of update on time before we're going to stop refunding, but just if you haven't unstaked yet, there's no reason to not do so because you will be getting the gas back. The next update is on the Blood Legion. If you didn't see the update in the announcements earlier, this is to celebrate some of our more helpful, kind and considerate holders. We're introducing something called the Blood Legion. Every week we're going to select one community member for outstanding contributions, and they'll be rewarded with a special badge along with some additional prizes. This isn't meant to be something where people are getting overly compensated or tons of prizes or something like that. This is just to recognise our long-term and most supportive holders. There's been people who have been in the chat almost day in day out for 8 or 9 months now, so these are the people that we want to be recognising. So we are going to obviously be able to see if people are almost trying too hard in the chat or just pasting random responses or things like that. Obviously they're not going to be picked. It's for the more casual people who are sitting back being helpful, and we see the same faces day in and day out, and these are the sort of people who are going to be selected for the Blood Legion. So there's going to be more information on the exact selection process and criteria to be announced in the coming days, but really there isn't going to be any criteria. It's just going to be for those people who are in the lair being helpful on a daily basis.
Perfect. Next update about the coffin physical prizes. As you may have known, all the coffins or whoever received the perfect bear coffin will be receiving a physical prize. From the nifty slabs, which are also going to be custom. By the way, we're not going to use the default template for that. And then we have the plushies and all these other small physical goodies for you guys to claim. We're already in the manufacturing phase right now, and we're finalizing, exactly how we're gonna coordinate the claim process behind that, making sure it's as smooth as possible. And then also, as you may have seen in the announcements channel, we did post a sneak peek of the hoodie. As you can see, the hoodie it's very good quality. It's super nice, and we'll have more updates and peaks for you guys very soon on that as well. So we look forward to having you guys all claim your prizes. Expect an update on that very soon.
Yes, perfect. Very well said. At the end of the day, kind of the new merch is super hype. Can't wait for you guys to see it. And I think that's it for the intro announcements for today. And the normal process would be that we go into the Slido next, but let's get number one man Thrall up first to say his piece, to fulfill his duty
That's
for you
me.
guys, and then we shall continue with the rest.
Number one man right here. First and foremost, guys, I just wanted to say hello to everyone and congratulate Mars on her promotion. I can't think of anyone more deserving. And I just want to thank everyone for putting in more thought and effort and research into their proposals and their submissions. It seems like everyone is following the template much better now. And it's just making it easier for everyone to vote on them, giving them a better idea of what exactly is being voted on. So I have 2 open proposals that I just want to bring up to discuss, and then 3 closed ones that met quorum, which I'll quickly go over. For the first one, there's the Syndicate proposal for Twitter Blue, which I think is a really good one, and that's why I want to bring it up. So it hasn't reached quorum yet, but the support rate is at 98%, so it's a staggering percentage. And it suggests that we basically fund 200 community members with the necessary amount to get Twitter Blue and make their profile pictures, the vampires to represent the brand. So the proposed cost is a full year at 1 ETH, and the benefits are increased visibility and exposure and presence on Twitter. But there are some drawbacks, such as like the 200 transactions and the gas fees associated with that. And people potentially leaving the project in the next week, month, or year. Not that I'm suggesting anyone would, but it is a realistic thing to maybe address. And I'm not here to support or be against it, but I just want to highlight this specific proposal because it's essentially exactly what we are trying to look for in terms of what makes a good submission. And it has everything thought out. So it's cost estimated, it explains the purposes and the benefits, and it's actually relatively cheap and easy to do. So if you haven't, just please go vote on this either for, against, or abstain. And if you want to write a proposal yourself, this is one to kind of look up to as a model example. And I just want to, congratulate whoever wrote it. The next one that's still open, and it has not reached quorum. I think it's about 781 last time I checked, with a 99% approval rate. I want to bring up for 2 reasons, but it is the proposal to create a requirement that the SVS team maintain a 1-to-1 mint and burn ratio between blood and DAO royalties. This one, I will explain what it is first. It's basically asked that we show how much blood is being minted on the Dash, as well as how much is being burned weekly. Ultimately, the goal is to find kind of a balance between how much is being produced and how much is being spent on the shop itself, to find a balance and sustain the DAO funds without burning through them too quick. This would presumably be accomplished by making sure the royalties added to the DAO do not exceed the amount spent on items to fulfill Bloodshot orders. And while there are obvious benefits and drawbacks to this, I'm not here to discuss those because it's still open and I don't want to show any bias. But I can chat with you all about it in the proposal discussion channel if anyone wants to. And again, I just want to point this one out because it's well thought out. And while it doesn't actually propose a cost amount per se, it does consider how the funds should be managed, which is, at the end of the day, what the DAO is about. And so this is one that I, again, encourage you to check out if you are considering writing your own. And as with the other one, please go vote if you haven't. There are now 3 that have closed, and they've passed quorum, so I'm going to report on them now. There's one called the Alpha Section Revamp, and it is an extension from the previous one, the Alpha Calls Channel proposal, which said that we should buy and pass and leak the information within our server, which I think I morally disagree with, but it's going to be something we look into to see if it's legal and allowed. But the extension itself it has some better ideas and suggests that we expand our team to cover different areas in the alpha itself, such as overall market conditions, investment calls, early invites to new projects, and a watch list of sorts. It also asks that we make giveaways relative to the number of vampires owned, not the ones per wallet. And it has a 94% favor vote. So, we just had to parse through what exactly is doable and what isn't, and then kind of bring that to the fore and then discuss it internally amongst the elders and myself, as well as the alpha team, obviously. The next one is to develop a fair and equal rewarding model for all perfect pairs. It did reach quorum, but it only had 49% in favor, so it didn't pass the necessary 50. And it asked us to create 3 tiers of holders, while ironically also scrapping the tiered coffin system itself. And it suggests that we pay loyal holders, or in other words, perfect pair holders or whales or rare vamp holders, a percentage of royalties from secondary sales. I'm unsure whether or not this is an SEC violation, so it's something we're going to have to look into. But it also suggests that we make voting power 1 vote per person and not 1 vote per vampire and not 1 vote per person. And again, it has a number of ideas, so we're going to have to look through which ones work and which ones don't before we come back with an official stance. And the last one is the collaboration with Yuga Labs' other side project. It blasted through quorum. I think it almost doubled it, 1.7K votes with 90% in favor. And it asked that we buy up 4 plots of land. It has a current price of, I think, 2.95 last time I checked, Ethereum, and it would cost about 13 after gas fees, give or take. So the issue would be trying to find 4 plots that are right beside each other, which is what the proposal is asking. And it says the benefits are that we would be, building a relationship with Yuga and applying for their development kit, and then using our space kind of as an advertising and representation space for the project itself to get more eyes on it, and then ultimately hanging out in it together once it's all developed. It also sees it kind of as, I suppose, an investment opportunity that someone could sell down the line. And again, this is something that I would have to talk to the alpha team about to get their read on it, because that's not my wheelhouse. And then, lastly, we have to consider that we have other plots in different places too. So we have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of buying more in Yuga specifically. So at the end of the day, the question kind of becomes, are other deeds that much better than what we currently have in our other plots? And furthermore, is it 13 ETH better? So we kind of have to make these calls with little to no information, because Yuga has given us little to no information. And it's largely a bet on Yuga's ability to deliver on other deed. And then the last part is, how long is it going to take for them to kind of deliver on the other deed themselves? So those are the ones that are open, that I think people should go vote on. And those are the ones that are closed, that have met quorum and fulfilled all the necessary requirements. And I'm just here to give you a weekly update. And that's about it from me, folks.
Thank you very much, Thrall. That was very doable. Very, very, very doable. So yes, the next part of the AMA is the Slido. Okay, thanks for taking time out of your day, by the way, Thrall. I appreciate it. I see you have a busy day. They all stared at you like you're crazy. Oh, you did it in front of your in-laws. That's very enjoyable. Okay, thank you very much, Thrall. We appreciate it, as always. Happy to have you here, saying your piece. And now we go on to the Slido. So we'll do like a handful of questions from the Slido, 10-15 minutes worth of it. Then we'll go see if there's any hands up. Then we answer them. If not, and then we will speak again another day. So I think we can begin the Slido now, Riot.
Okay, so the first question, we'll try and go mostly from the top with the most upvotes to get to the best questions first. The first one is, the team have put off marketing for so long that we are now entering a bear with the real possibility that the project could go to zero. What do you intend to do about it?
We have not been putting off marketing for so long, quote unquote, like Mr. Anonymous, who's very active today, has said. Oh, I just clocked someone actually submitted a question with the name Mr. Anonymous. That is quite entertaining. Okay, yes, so Mr. Anonymous is asking, at the end of the day, it's not something that we have been putting off marketing for so long, right? We've been trying different things with marketing over time, but what is most important for you guys and maybe people in general to note is that we don't control the market sentiment, right? We don't control what happens. If you guys, I'm sure most of you, anyone who is in the space and seen what's happened over the last 2 days to 1 week, in general, we have seen a little bit of a bear market recently. The entire crypto market has been in generally a sideways downwards trend. Yeah, Jack's Teller, I'm trying to be a little bit polite, but yes, okay, market has been an absolute shit show in the last 2 days, and that doesn't stop us, right? Perfect example is that we're still here, still do these AMAs week in, week out, still do these Lair TVs, these podcasts, these interviews with other big people in the space, and we don't control the market. At the end of the day, when the market is not so favorable, we still don't change our plans. We still, use this time to be able to build and keep pushing out new things and new updates and try to bring as much innovation as we can. And the moment, it's just not the most ideal timing. But we are working closely with some people that we have contracted with, and we have been given new lists of KOLs, and new updates and new people to interact and reach out with. Yes. So at the end of the day, I think that's just what is best to be said about that. Okay. So next question I have for Rio is I am very excited for the London event and filled in the form last week. When is new details?
When is new details? Yeah, this is a good question. In case a few people didn't see last week, especially if there's people in here without a verified holder role, we did post a form last week in the verified announcements. So if you do have access to that but haven't seen it yet, be sure to go there. This was an interest check for both the NYC and the London events, because both of the events are in there now finalising process where we need to know exactly what sort of numbers we're talking about. So the form also asks to show how interested you are. So if you are interested in potentially going, then be sure to enter the form, because we don't want to cater to a lot lower capacity than people that would want to go, but at the same time we don't want to cater to a too large capacity and waste time and resources. So if you haven't checked it out yet, be sure to check out that form. But in the form of details, we are set on dates, venues and locations for both of these events now, and these will be coming out over the coming days. We do want to make sure that people have plenty of time where possible. If you need to book flights, accommodation, make your way there, make plans, then we want to give you as much time as possible. We don't want to give the dates last minute to where people would want to have came, but it's just not doable because of the short notice. So we do want to give plenty of time. The tentative date that we're looking for in London is June 25th. So this is almost certain now, but we'll be putting out the final details when we have them. So if you are in London or the UK or Europe, keep that date clear. I know a few of us are going to be there. Me and 2D are definitely going to be there. That leads into another question on the Slido, I believe, later on, but we'll definitely be there, so if you can make it to that one. And then the same with NYC. I'm not sure exactly who's going to be making it there yet, but we are in the final preparation for that. So both of the details on the NYC and the London event, we're going to try and get them out within the next week or so that people have at least a month to plan in advance if you want to visit either of these events. The next question is, will there ever be any different NFTs for sale in the Bloodshot, since this week was only SVS NFTs?
Yes. So obviously the first week that we started introducing NFTs, we did SVS only. So yes, I think Leon covered this earlier in the announcements, but I shall just repeat it for everyone. Is that there will be other NFTs for sale in the Bloodshop for sure. We can't tell you which collections that we're going to be putting up next, but this is definitely 100% doable, and it will happen. It will happen. Okay, next question for Rion. Can we have an update on the champagne? We understand that there are going to be delays, but is there anything new?
So this ties a bit into the last question as well, because the London event is specifically going to revolve around the champagne as well. I know we've been saying this for quite a while now, so it's not too much of an update, but both the champagne and the boxes for the champagne are now on their way to the distributor. Obviously, we can't be handling it ourselves. We'd love to have had it out a lot sooner if the distribution was more in our hands, but with it being alcohol, and especially with us wanting to be able to ship the alcohol to as many countries as possible, this did come into delays. The champagne, as we've mentioned a few times, was ready as we planned for February, and it's just the actual distribution end that's kept pushing this back now, because a few of the distribution methods that we were looking at, for example, if we did it in the US, this would be good for US people, but then you struggle to get it into the UK and the EU, especially without extortionate charges, and the other way around as well. But we also don't want to make it so that people can't do the champagne. I know a lot of people have been waiting since back in 2021, so we do want to be able to make sure we can get it into as many hands as possible. But this is now sorted, and we're almost ready to be shipping out the champagne. This is going to coincide with the event in London, because we're going to be marketing it as our champagne event, launch event in London. So there's going to be a lot of the champagne there, so if you can make it, be sure to get there. This is going to be the first opportunity a lot of people are going to have at the champagne. And our plan is that around that time is going to be when people are going to start getting it in their hands as well. So over the coming weeks, we'll be introducing the Chalice NFT on how you'll be able to redeem to get your champagne, and then we're going to begin shipping it out. And this is going to time with the SVS London champagne event in June, where people will be receiving the champagne, but will also be able to taste it at the event as well. So on both the champagne and both of the events fronts, we're going to be trying to get as much details as we can over the next week or two, as we get into the end of May and move into June, to get that into everyone's hands as soon as possible.
Thank you, Rion. Very nice update on the champagne. Can't wait for you guys to taste it and attend the event.
The next question is from Mr. Anonymous, who says, it's quite ironic for this question, being undoxed is the old and outdated way to run an NFT. 90% of the blue chip founders are doxed. There's lots of chat that Woof was involved in a rug. What are your thoughts?
So first of all, this is exactly like you said, very ironic for Mr. Anonymous. He should have doxed himself for this question, I believe, to be able to ask this, but it's okay. I digress. I'm just curious. 90% of blue chip founders are doxed. That's an interesting one. But okay, anyway, to get to the point,
Well, hello.
essentially,
What?
essentially, hello.
I was
Essentially,
involved in a rug?
so that's what they say. But essentially about the doxing thing, yeah, just come to London, innit? Me and the boys will be there. So that should be enough for you guys to see. And yes, apparently you are involved.
In what rug?
Yeah, not sure what's going on there.
Is that was that about the tweet where I put out about Project PXN
I have no idea.
on
Well,
OpenSea
he's
where
Mr.
they
Anonymous, so
oh
not
yeah.
much.
Well, I've never
Yeah.
rugged a project, so
Well, yeah,
kind of
there you go.
interesting.
Yes, Mr.
Interesting.
Anonymous, thank you for the question. And I think that's it for that one. So if you're worried about the doxing and whatnot, just come to the London event and you will see the boys there, and then that should be it. Thank you. Hope to see you there as well, Mr. Anonymous. So next question, Rion. I shall ask you a very simple question. I bought a vamp from the Bloodshot. Where is it?
Yeah, so the person who put this probably put it before our announcement earlier, which is fine, but we did send the vamps earlier today. There was a small delay in doing so, but if you bought a vamp, which I believe was 9 people, but if you also bought a bat or a vampress, they were all airdropped earlier, so be sure to check your wallets, because about an hour or two ago they went out. There are still a few available in the Bloodshop, depending on your tiers. Will also depend on the price, but if you do purchase one now, we'll try and get it out within about 24 hours of you purchasing. So just keep an eye on your wallet if you do buy, and it will be airdropped as soon as we can.
Flame, before you ask me the next question, Rion, Flame, yes, at least me and Rion, and definitely Freddie, who's unmissable, will be there in London for sure. Okay, next question, Rion.
So the next question was, let me pull it up. Development is great, but where is the marketing? That was in capitals.
Oh,
Where's the marketing, bro?
scared me a little bit there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, at the end of the day, yeah, so we spoke about this earlier before, right? Marketing is something that we push on and work on every week. We try new things here and there, but obviously, market sentiment itself is important. We are working with certain people, agencies, and stuff like that who are experienced in marketing in the crypto space, but timing is as important as everything else. So once the market sentiment has improved, then we'll be pushing it out full force ahead. The last couple of days to 1 week has been really bad for the entire market as a whole. So the moment that things kind of clear up a little bit, we can, push on ahead. Okay. Next question for Rion is, do you think the Bloodshop is sustainable? I love it right now, but what about in 6 months?
Yeah, this is actually quite a good question, and it does relate back to the proposal before on not spending more on the Bloodshop than royalties flow into the DAO wallet. I do like this proposal as it's very sensible, and it does suggest, because a lot of the proposals don't suggest monetary values as well, whereas this is thinking about the long term of the project, not spending more than there is. I know especially for the first few weeks of the Bloodshot, we wanted to make sure there was a plethora of prizes. We were looking at a few other similar type of shops that other projects held, and it seems that their shops are not really restocked often, and not many of their holders get prizes from them. Some of them, when they do have large prizes, it's just going to be one or two holders getting them while the rest run out. And this is one thing we definitely didn't want with the Bloodshot. We wanted it to be, I know it's not possible that we can have infinite stock on some of the prizes, but we wanted there to be as big a variety of prizes, and also an opportunity where people are able to get them, and that's why we've also been gauging how popular certain things are and then making sure they're restocked every week, because obviously they're the things that people want. There was also talk a while back, because currently it's only the Gen 2 royalties where a portion is going into the DAO wallet, and this is something that we can consider as well if the community want it to be putting some of the Gen 1 royalties into the DAO wallet. This is definitely something we're open to doing. Before Gen 2 there was not even a DAO wallet, and all of the expenses, anything for the Bloodshot, wasn't coming from a community wallet as such. So this is definitely something that in the long term of the project we're committed to making sure it's sustainable. I know especially during times like this where there's a bear market and there might be smaller amounts of volume, we wouldn't necessarily want the Bloodshot to suffer and us go, oh well, we're not going to put any prizes in the Bloodshot this week because there's been hardly any royalties. But at the same point, I do see where the question is, where we can't just be spending infinite amounts every week if the royalties are low. So it's definitely something that's tough to balance, and something that we are going to look carefully on doing, but we definitely don't want to just be draining the DAO wallet every week. If there are minimal royalties, we would make sure there is a balance between the amount of prizes and the amount is spent, and the amount that's flowing in, because we don't want to drain it. We do want to keep it for the long term of the project.
Perfect. Thank you, Rion. Okay, next question. I shall ask T. What is the plan to survive the current bear market? Will the team stay with the investors through all of the bad things happening in the space? Question mark.
Yeah, no. So this is a good question and something we also acknowledged earlier in the day. And even I saw a couple other Slido questions about bears being for building. So our plan is to how to survive is just keep on doing what we're doing, right? And we're not gonna stop just because NFT interest is down. Our mission has always been to provide as much value as possible to our holders, and create a community and a brand, and just I guess survive for as long as we can in the space, or as long as anybody can, right? Obviously certain things are outside of our control, but we're here for the long run. About the part about would the founders still be here with their investors? I think an interesting thing to, I guess, realize or kind of think about. It's not like these founders kind of fell from the fate, just came out of nowhere. They have perspective backgrounds in their other industries, and like we've mentioned countless of other times, the sneaker scene, we have a huge history there. So it's not like this is the first, I guess, industry or space where we've been building. So we all have backgrounds. We're all coming from somewhere. It's not just, we didn't just fall out of the sky and decide to do an NFT project. Um, so the founders, the team, everybody is definitely most committed, and we're going to be doing our best to stick through. I mean, it's a tough time for everybody, not just specific projects. Everybody's struggling. So you kind of just have to, I guess, keep your head up and keep on building.
Yep, perfect. Thank you, T. Actually, we'll just answer one or two more questions from Slido, and then we'll go to the hands up.
Yeah, so the next one is from Bopt. I just seen him asking about it in the chat, so we'll go to that now as well. And he says, bears are for building, and the team have proven that they do building very well. But are there any plans to build further during the bear market to secure us as a top project when it gets to the other side?
Yes, so for sure. Our priority is always building and trying to push as many new things as we can, which can help grow the project and ecosystem as much as possible. Any plans to build further during the bear to secure us a top project? Yes. So essentially, that's just it. We just keep on going through the bear market, regardless of any sentiment in the market. And then and then we can just kind of put ourselves in a good position that when the market does turn around, we can reach out and get as much possibility of connecting with other bigger projects and growth for SVS as well along the way. So essentially, yes, correct. Bear market, bull market, doesn't matter. Our work has been the same and will continue to be the same. If not, we continue to push and push. We've been here for about 8 months, 9 months now, and we have no plans or any intentions to slow down or stop anytime at all. Thank you for the question, Bot. Bopula, is that you? Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we'll do one more Slido question and then see if there's any hands before we finish up. But this one says, convert the F funds into USDC so it doesn't lose its value during the bear market. When will we also see a revamp for the alpha section?
Yes, I think this is a great idea. Converting all the ETH into USDC at a strong Ethereum price of 2100 USD. So whoever has made this suggestion, I think you are an amazing trader. I wish you had sent this to me and us 3 weeks ago. We have a very good friend in this group that also tethered his Ethereum at the very bottom of one of the previous cycles. So he has whenever he sells, we don't. So yes, sounds like Freddie tethering at the bottom. Thank you very much. Yes, that has happened multiple times now, everyone. The moment Freddie does sell is the time that you buy everything with all your money. Okay, so that's it for the Slido. As always, we said that we say this week is going to be short. We've been doing this for so long, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, here we are, 15 minutes deep, and we're going to the hands up. So we only have one hand up right now, which is fine. If any of you want to put your hand up, you have like 10 minutes or so. But yeah, let's bring them up and close out the AMA. Should you bring them up, Rion?
Okay, so a few hands have just gone up. First I'll bring up Katara as her hand's been up the entire time, and then we'll bring up Brock before a few more questions if we have the last 10 minutes.
You guys have been waiting for my invitation or what? There's only been one hand for 30 minutes and now there's 4. Okay. Hello, Katara. Oh, is she not here?
She's not. I invited Brock up as well. Maybe Brock should go first.
Hello.
Sure thing.
Paul.
Hello, everyone. First of all, Mars, congratulations. I've been bullish on Mars for quite a while now, so it's nice to see that that investment's finally paying off. Congratulations, Mars. Very well deserved. And then getting into our numbers, we had another really good week actually, which is nice considering the turmoil that we're experiencing in our current little bear market. Hopefully some of you have also gone through bear markets together, like I have, so you can lend support and help other people out who this might be their first experience with the bear market. So, be friends to everybody out there and realize this might be their first time going through this. But we did have a lot of interaction with our community initiatives over the last week. We actually hit, almost our second highest reach for our SVS NFT tag. We hit 2.4 million accounts organically because of the community members who engage with our community initiatives, share, like, retweet, comment. We include those hashtags because it helps get into other people's feeds who might not be familiar with this amazing project that literally has utility just busting out of it at every seam. And then our @SVS NFT tag, what are we? Number 3rd, actually. We hit 1.4 million accounts with that tag, and we had a bunch of interactions with that, several thousand interactions with that. Our Discord numbers are holding steady from week to week, which is really nice to see. A lot of people coming in. And I do not like to discuss volume and stuff, but I will say that compared to a lot of other projects I track, our volume held very solid over the last week compared to pretty much every other project that I look at. So congrats to all of the holders. Congrats to the team for really doing an amazing job with this. And then, one thing I wanted to add is I was invited to speak at a conference in October And I had my preliminary meeting with the other speakers today. And the one thing that I am definitely going to include while I'm up there is this project has more utility than any project I've ever experienced. And it's one of the things actually that I'm going to highlight during my little segment up there, showing them what's possible within the NFT space and how much a team can actually take a project and make it more than just some really beautiful art by Mig, which I do love, but really turn this into an all-encompassing project that rewards people regardless of what's going on in the market. So I encourage anybody out there who might be on the fence about jumping into the community, or even if you're considering jumping out, take a really good, solid look at other projects out there, and I'm pretty sure you are not going to find anything that's remotely close in terms of what this team does for utility on a daily basis and going forward. So with that being said, I want to tell the team that I love you guys. You are all amazing, and I love my community managers, Crisis, Mars, everybody, Scotty. Thanks for making this such a fun project for me to work on, and I love my Vamp family.
Thank you very much, Paul.
And keep doing the community initiatives, everybody. It's working. It's working.
It's always working.
It's always working. It's never stopped working. That's for sure.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much, Paul. Let me quickly read this. I love the Bloodshot, and I hope our great coffins lead to special shopping moments at certain times, like Halloween, for instance. Hey, Qatar, that's not a bad idea. Totally, maybe doable. But thank you so much. Yeah, it's a cool suggestion. We can definitely bring it up and see what can come from that.
Okay, next up,
Nice,
we've got 3 more hands, so we'll try and speed fire through them if everyone takes 2 or 3 minutes. First is AS7R Astro. Yes, Astro, correct.
Well, damn, that's a tough question. Unfortunately, I can't answer that. I'm so sorry, Astro. Maybe next week, I see you have found the mute button. Oh, I think the mute button and the exit button are either very close, or you have fingers the size of Freddy's.
Okay,
I
I
guess
invited
we
up
have
Gleebots in the meantime.
Oh, I hear a sign of life from Mugly Bots.
Oh, I'm up. Sorry. Hey guys, how's it going? Quick question. So I know the marketing's always a big thing. Is there any way that we can just get a little bit more transparent communication about it, even if it's not much, whenever something comes up. I think people just want to hear about it, even if it really isn't much. Kind of quenches the fire in the belly a little bit. I know there's a lot of things that you can't really divulge just due to the nature of it. But do you think that's possible in any way?
Yeah, so I guess as for being more transparent, we've been quite transparent with weekly updates with kind of how things are going. Even in last week's AMA things, we revealed that things with the marketing firm weren't going as planned, and that we were going to repivot from the initial list that they gave us. I guess what would help more would be more frequent updates. Do you believe that would be a better solution, Glee?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean transparent in like a mean way or anything. Just yeah, more frequent, I guess.
Yeah.
Even if it's just little tidbits here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely can. We can be more, I guess, provide more frequent updates wherever possible. The only thing with us is we're always cautious about making sure that the announcements that we do post have some substance. Otherwise, it's always just sort of like an announcement of an announcement, But in those cases where we can provide an update, as for marketing, we definitely will.
Okay, sounds cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the question. I think
Invited Astro up
that's
again, hopefully.
okay, Astra. It's the last one, isn't it?
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I am new to the community. I joined with SVS Gen 2, so I only hold Gen 2. So I would like to ask if there's any way, any plans to add value or reward holders only Gen 2, pending the free NFT free mint companions is going to come. How do you plan to reward holders who can afford to buy a bat to devour?
So you're saying
How
how to add value without having to buy a bat.
Yeah, for people who can't afford to buy a bat, how do you plan to reward them in the ecosystem pending the time the companions are going to come? We all know that is going to be a long time, so I was just wondering.
Yep. So okay. So back in December when we announced Gen 2, we always said that we never mentioned that the vampiresses would have blood. So just to make it fairer for the Gen 1, that there would be no blood for the Gen 2, but stated that they would not. So the eating the bat was kind of like the way that we made it add value to them and also give them a little bit of room for growth. But definitely there is some stuff that we can do and will do for the vampiresses. There is some stuff that we can consider with alpha, maybe holding a certain amount or something like that.
Yeah,
And then
I
also with the
wanted to.
family. Yeah, yeah. But then I think T can add some stuff onto that.
Yeah, just kind of piggybacking
Yeah,
off of that, like ever since I guess when we minted out Gen 2, as advertised, you are gonna get your pixel vampirus, you're gonna get a 3D model for for metaverses, and you're gonna get access to the SVS ecosystem. The bat devouring was something completely that we I guess wanted to bring up as a way for vampiruses to gen blood. Even the perfect pair, that was a bonus as well. So we've kind of already done those, and it was explicitly stated that Gen 2s would not produce any blood at all. But their main sort of utility is always and has always kind of been for breeding, or the blood pack, sorry. Um, but
okay.
like you mentioned, that is going to require another NFT, and we were pretty clear about that at the time of it, that's how it's gonna be.
Okay, I would like to ask this also. Would Gen 2 companions end blood?
Huh?
Would
Oh,
Gen 2 the companions would they end blood? So
uh,
As of
might be
right.
a good way for people who can afford to buy a bat because at this present bear market, I don't think I'll be able to buy that, and I would still like to be part of this community and still go forward.
yeah, I personally am not sure if that's on the books
Yep.
to
So
be.
the Gen 2 companions, the specifics of what is coming for them have not been finalized yet. So as soon as we can finalize it and push out the updates, we'll let you know as we get a bit closer to it. So yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay, so one last thing, please consider people holding maybe 5+ Gen 2 for Alpha, please. It's really needed. I really need some help building my bags right now, and it really sucks having to go to another community, having to build up from there again. I'm already invested in SBS. I would like SBS to also help my
Yeah,
position.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Definitely, it's something that we're always thinking about and seeing how we can best push on with adding value to Gen 2. So sorry, Astra, but we have one hand left and we only have 1 minute left, so we're gonna get the last guy on, and then
okay,
thank you so much for coming up.
thank you.
Hey guys.
Yos. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yes.
Yeah, that's a short version of my name. But how you guys doing? I just want to ask. I would have mentioned that I've been in this community since Mint. Always been strong in the community. Always believed in the community. Um, just wanted to ask about NYC NFT. Specifically, who's going to be there? Because you guys mentioned for London who's going to be there. So I was just curious for NYC NFT. And also if there may be specific vampire events, and also obviously free food for the food truck for holders, maybe.
Yes, so just sorry, I didn't hear the last bit. It's just more about NFT NYC, right? I think T can take that up his alley. You might even meet him there.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
excited.
Yeah. So for NFT NYC, we're obviously gonna have the general, who's our events manager and coordinator. For me, I have like very conveniently, I guess, or unfortunately, something it like just might come up that week, and I'm still not 100% sure. But it's very likely that I will be there. And as for the elders, having NYC be so close to London, that's also something we're not too sure of yet. But we will have, representation there, as we mentioned, at the booth, the food truck, the food at the food truck, it will be covered by us. It's going to be free, so you're not going to have to pay for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love to
And
see
then
that.
the third component of it is going to be a venue. So we are going to have like an after party type thing. And that's why we're urging everyone to go fill out the interest check that's in verified announcements, because that like really helps us gauge how much interest there is, and so we can well prepare. But we do plan to make this a very good experience for everyone. Our first I do believe, yes, our first physical event, since this is going to be happening before London. So we're very excited for everyone to come out and get to meet us. And,
Sounds really cool, man. Sounds really cool.
Yeah, sweet.
Plan to be there.
Was there any other part of the question I might have missed?
No, I think that covers it. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thank you so much, Gus. Okay, I think there's no more hands up in it. So that's it for this week's AMA. How exciting. Somehow I mentioned to you guys that it would be a shorter one this week, and here we are. 2 minutes over the hour. As always, week in, week out, we love talking to you guys. It's always super exciting. Many questions, many hands up towards the end, which is always exciting. Always love talking to you guys. So really long one in it. Very, very bullish. So yes. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Gentle reminder, if you want to meet the boys, me and Ryan and Freddie, who are confirmed for London, please show up. Maybe a man like Thrall, the man in the photo for the gift Freddie just posted, will be there too. Who knows? Okay, Bala AMA every 2 weeks. We do them every week, and we do Alert TV every week. Rest is fine. It'll come. No worries. So thank you so much. Thrall does need to come to London. Let's just put it out there. London event. He needs to be there for the champagne event. Be there or be square. And I hope that we can meet as much of you guys as we can over there. And that's it for this week. See you guys soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.